This is the Jamal Brown podcast from South Central Texas. I want to thank you for tuning in, and dropping out into the show. I am your humble host, Jamal Brown. Breaking: Chris Paul has agreed on a 1-year, $11 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Chris Haynes on Twitter writes, Chris Paul had a great talk with Spurs coach Greg Popovich, and was sold on the culture and the opportunity to help elevate the game of Victor Wembanyama. Chris Paul is eager and motivated to showcase he's still an elite guard in this league. Well, the Warriors just cut him. Nobody's really picking him up except the San Antonio Spurs is looking like right now. I don't believe in Brian Wright. I believe that we had Rob Dillingham in our hands. I don't know why we just didn't start with Rob Dillingham playing point. I don't really understand why we didn't take the 4th and the 8th pick and just package maybe Keldon Johnson, who didn't have a really great year. Package any player from the Spurs who was not named Victor Wembanyama. Package them up, and, get a guard. I really wanted Darius Garland. I'm not happy. I should be. I think Chris Paul in 2005 was amazing. I think Chris Paul with the Clippers was amazing, right? I think Chris Paul played really well for the Phoenix Suns. He had his opportunity to win a title. He lost to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Chris Paul's like 40. Injury prone. What's the good side? Yeah, everybody's excited about the lob passes to Wembanyama. That's going to be fun. I think we're going to see in the Olympic Games how passionate Victor Wembanyama is about winning basketball games, and it's going to be the first time I'm going to root against him. I'm here in San Antonio. I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan. I am used to, for this past year, watching Victor Wembanyama kick ass and destroy, and it's going to be really hard watching him. I'm not going to say he's going to destroy us, but it's going to be really, if we have to compete against him, it's going to be really weird to see how dominant he is and me being terrified of him. And we're going to actually see in France how competitive he is. And I'm kind of interested because I want to see what Victor Wembanyama looks like when he has a good team. And I think that's going to be shocking to us. When he plays with France, we're going to be like, look how how Wembanyama plays on a good team. And then we're going to see him go back to the Spurs. All right. Come on, Jamal. Come on, JB. This is clearly a stopgap year. It's a stopgap year. We're going for 2025. We got picks and blah, blah, blah for 2030, 2031. This is supposed to be fantastic news. Why are you not happy? Because I do not like the concept of tanking and throwing away a generational player's career. We had opportunities to either trade and get a guard. We could have got DeJounte Murray. He was ready to win and compete now, even though he's young. Chris Paul's 40. Chris Paul's injury prone. Chris Paul is not going to play the rest of the season. Chris Paul had plenty of opportunities to try to join the Spurs. He didn't. And yeah, he was all right with the Warriors, but he's injury prone. And he's getting to the point where he's kind of washed. Hey, the San Antonio Spurs, we're not the MLS where you come when your career falls off. Look, I understand everybody's excited for the prospects of lob passes from Chris Paul to Wembanyama. And then we got this kid, Castle. He's going to come off the bench. Is he ready? Look, I'm glad that at least somebody is going to be competent enough to get Wembanyama the ball. I just wish that competent player wasn't old and brittle. But I understand it's a 1-year gap. I understand we're going for 2025. We're probably going to try to use those picks. I understand, the Cooper flags out there, and this is supposed to be a fantastic coming draft. And I know Brian Wright, he's already talked about we're going to do this for the long view, the long haul. We're going to build this the right way. He's looking at 2030. He's talking about 2031. I just don't like the idea of wasting year 2 of Wembanyama. I don't like the idea of wasting 6 to 7 years of this man's career knowing that 7'4" tall players, centers, had bad feet. So, breaking news, San Antonio Spurs got Chris Paul. Welcome Chris Paul to San Antonio to Countdown Alamo City. The lob pass is going to be okay. And I just still believe that Brian Wright snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. I'm not happy that he just made the Timberwolves better. I don't understand why he's wasting Wembanyama's time. We'll check out these picks. And we're clearly tanking again. We are tanking again. I don't feel like we should tank again. This is not Chris Paul from the Hornets. Man, do you remember that playoff series with the Spurs when it was Tony Parker against Chris Paul? What was that, 05? That was a great series. That ain't him. But hey, Spurs, we got ourselves a player. We got ourselves a point guard. And get ready. It's going to be another long year. I mean, who knows? After that 1 year, he might finally just go where he really, really wants to go. And that's to the Los Angeles Lakers and play with his buddy LeBron and play with his Nepo baby son, LeBron James. Maybe he can play backup point guard or play the point guard role. Help out Bronny. JB.